So Design with Purpose was the slogan that we initially came up with for Build Create, and it was a reaction to something that we saw a lot of in our industry at the time when we started the company back in 2010, where creatives were delivering work that, at least to us, felt sort of self-serving. They wanted to do it because they thought it would be fun or cute or creative, but didn't really have grounding in like a strategic direction for the client.
There's a lot of times where there's very specific thought and energy that goes into making certain selections versus whether it's copy or photography or just a design decision that seem like it's perhaps purely aesthetic, but it was actually something very intentional.
For me, that is about the who, why, and how of our work. People, for me, is rooted in our team, in really investing in them first. They're our greatest asset, both for ourselves and in that they are who we put at our clients' disposal.
People, purpose, process. People is energy, people are resources, people is the backbone of any business. And that doesn't change here at Build Create.
The purpose is kind of what's always brought us together. Purpose is what we've been designing towards, what we've been developing to. It's how we align ourselves with the work and make sure what we're doing has intent behind it, and we can answer the question of why we did it and what's important and what steps led us there. And then process is like how those two things interact together and intersect and become the work that we do.
We've spent over 10 years building a process on how to best work with a client, give them what they need, and then provide them with the best product we can.
And purpose, of course, we don't do anything unintentionally. Everything is very purposely thought out and very purposely executed. It's never an accident when something turns out correctly. It's very intentional.
So it's a tough balance, right? Like to get a real technical, properly functioning website to work in a way that the client would expect. To be a very easy, user-friendly experience from anyone editing a site, you got to kind of bring those two ends together, where it is technical, but it's not obvious that it's technical. And that's kind of what we always kind of go for. This is the best user experience.
Yeah. So for branding work and for the content writing that I do, both of those deliverables, both of those areas of expertise really begin with research. I feel like I have to know way more than what goes into the finished product in order to be able to write to it. So if I'm writing something, what ends up on page is like 10% of what I actually had to learn in order to be able to write intelligently about it. And then from that, I'm able to find messages and instill them into something that is communicating something in a really deep and concise way. For my content writing work, my process is similar to what I do in branding, where if I'm writing an article, I'll begin by searching the topic, seeing what other things are written on the topic, finding high-quality resources in the field that I can use to educate me on that topic before I begin to write. Sometimes I will interview a client to learn more specifically about that topic and get as much background information as I can before I actually write the article piece. I'll also work with our team members to get an idea of what the SEO background is on that particular content piece. I'll learn if there's something that a phrase or a series of words that we're trying to target, and I'll incorporate those into the content piece as well.